We inherit this planet in the next 20 years. The question is, what are we being left with? Let's think about it. Whoever controls your news controls your world. Own the news, change the world. Plan to witness an information revolution. Check this, the news will flow from millions around the world. We cannot afford to be fed our news. We must front our news. Really step up to reality. Outside of sports and entertainment, all the news is generated by people over 40 who grew up in a world we don't even live in. So what is there to talk about? Do you trust them to define our interests? If we let others define our content, then they define us. Hip-hop, define yourself. Tuners, define yourself. Skaters, define yourself. You, define yourself. Hi, I'm Sanisa Kim. Welcome to the first episode of Our World. In today's show, we'll test a cool device for creating drinkable water from unlikely sources. Then, we'll discover something surprising about the nation of Iran. We'll discuss the latest form of job discrimination. Then, we'll hear about an ambitious program to bring computers to young children everywhere. Next, we'll learn about microcredit and its importance to developing economies. And finally, we celebrate the impact of our generation on this most recent presidential election. The Our Impact segment highlights members of our community who are driving real change in the world around us through their actions. Field producer Sean Ahmed is learning how to make clean water in Kenya.
One of the major rivers that run through Kakamega here in Kenya. Believe it or not, this is actually the water source for many people. They just bring their buckets here and fill them up.
Especially in rural areas, people often have to walk long distances to get any water at all. And it's often what we call open sources, so it's either a river or a lake. And that's not a safe supply of water.
That's where a product called LifeStraw can come in.
This is the LifeStraw family water purification unit that purifies 18,000 liters of water up to EPA standards. So you can pour rainwater, river water. It doesn't take out chemicals or salt, but around these areas that's not much of a problem. It's more the bacteria and viruses and protozoa. It'll work for a family of 5 for around 3 years.
This device isn't the only way to provide clean and safe drinking water. When I was in Bangladesh, I got to see how Save the Children uses pond sand filters to do something similar. But what makes the LifeStraw family unique is that it's smaller, more advanced, and purifies water to a much higher standard.
The marketing buzz on this is that this is one of the most advanced water filters on the planet. And with a claim like that, I just couldn't let it rest. So I decided to stress test this device.
What do you want me to do? We'll start by scooping some rainwater. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, mix it in. Mix.
That's nasty.
I can smell it from here actually.
Look at that is clear.
Bring it down.
Not bad.
Not bad, huh?
You didn't have to drink this, so I was one. So you're the CEO and you're about to drink your cow dung purified water.
Big Chief, you're now on YouTube.
And this is, I'll take it. Yeah. Is it really pure? Yeah. Is it good? Is it just?
How is it, Chief?
Very nice, eh? Not smelling.
You really have a lot of confidence in your product.
Absolutely. We know what we're doing.
And there you have it, fresh water from cow dung. Our world. This is not your parents' news. Hi, I'm Sanisa Kim, and this is Our World. Now here's something I bet you didn't know about the nation of Iran.
Iran, like many nations, is defined in the world's eyes by its political leaders, but a country and its people are more than the narrow viewpoints of politicians. Iran was a monarchy ruled by a Shah until the 1979 revolution. The final Shah modernized Iran but also crushed any political opposition. The Islamic Revolution began with widespread strikes and demonstrations and was a time of tremendous hope. Sadly, one oppressive regime replaced another. Half of Iran's 70 million people are under the age of 25, a generation vocally opposed to the current regime. Speaking out brings punishment, so young Iranians embrace blogs to voice their thoughts and experience. Iran is the third largest country of bloggers. In 2005, there were over 700,000 blogs with about 100,000 actively maintained. Blogs provide a safe place to write on forbidden topics, from politics to love, letting young people flirt, tell jokes, and arrange dates. The bloggers contradict perceptions promoted by their government. They speak out with wit, eloquence, and anger about the repression of women, the disgust with militant Islamists, and the need for change. Some brave bloggers even risk imprisonment by writing under their real names. Despite state opposition, the number of blogs continues to grow, offering a place where dreams and courage defeat fear. Iranian blogs are the true voice of the next generation. They are nothing less than a revolution within the revolution.
This week, we explore the theme of culture and lifestyle in a true celebration of diversity.
My name is Ryan Menchik and I'm an average teenager. I wash my car, I do the laundry, I don't clean my room at all, and I have an evil younger sibling. But I have a problem getting jobs because of my appearance, especially my big, gauged out ears. On almost every job application you see, there will be an equal opportunity employment statement. Yet people with standout appearances tend to still be discriminated against by jobs based on their appearance instead of based on how hard they can actually work.
And I'm not sure if he did it on purpose or he didn't know that I heard him, but he said, oh, if she applied back, she wasn't going to get her job back because of her piercings. My parents think just because I have tattoos that I'm not going to be able to find a professional job. And I think that's a bunch of bull because anyone can find a professional job no matter how they look. People can be professional. They have tattoos and piercings. They could be clean cut. Some people have tattoos that you don't even know they have and they cover them up. Or they could take out their piercings, no big deal. Shouldn't stop someone from getting a job. It's not about how they look. It's about how they work. It's about their personality.
This week, we discuss education around the world. Here's a program with a simple goal: 1 laptop per child.
I have the entire Library of Congress. Jag sover elem kartam. I have a dinosaur. A fish. A tea astronaut. J'ai des amis dans d'autres pays. France. Czech Republic. Barcelona. Canada. I've learned the banjo. I have seen the Great Wall of China. I have seen snow. He conocido muchos fans de Hannah Montana. I have all the art ever made. I know the definition of onomatopoeia. Like choo-choo. Yo tengo un mejor entendimiento de tolerancia. Of diversity. Of my history. Ako ay may boses sa mundong ito. I have a better chance at turning 25. I have a better chance for clean water, matatag na ekonomiya, y una vida de alimento. I have a chance. Muni afani.
Introducing the first computer created specifically for children in the emerging world. Give one this holiday and give the hope of 1 laptop per child.
Our goal at 1 laptop per child is to give each child a connected laptop for that child to have access to all the information of the world, be able to communicate with all other children, and to be as creative as possible, to build things, to make things, to communicate with other children. This is the most robust laptop made purposely for children in places where there's dust, there's sand, you can carry it in the rain, and doesn't have any holes except one to connect an AC adapter, but you can put water in that. And then when you open it up, it starts to reveal the kinds of things that we all see on our laptops, which would collect dirt and dust and really cause problems. And so the laptop is designed to be dropped. It's designed to be used under very, very severe conditions. I'm constantly asked, why give a laptop to a child that might be starving, or a child that is malnourished, or a family that just can't sustain themselves at all? And when I'm asked that question, I ask the person, substitute the word laptop for education, and you'll never ask the question again.
My name is Paul.
Tatina, Daquande,
Ariana, Fade,
Diva,
Jonathan,
Declan,
Danielle, Brianna. For all the children you will never meet, thank you.
To learn more about how you can spread the word or get directly involved, visit www.laptopgiving.org.
After the break, we'll see the impact of our generation on the most important election of our lives. We need to pay some bills. We'll be right back in 3 minutes. You're watching Our World on TXA 21. Hi, I'm Sinisa Kim, and welcome back to Our World. Did you know that just a few dollars can change the economy of an entire community?
Many people in poor countries live on less than $1 a day. Microcredit creates access to small loans for which many can offer a better future. When selling bananas on the street, you earn 50 cents a day. But with access to a stall at the local market, earnings increase by 50%. This would allow your 3 children to stay in school, as well as building your savings. The savings could then be added to another loan with which you could buy a chicken to raise and sell at the market. With other vendors, you could form a cooperative and invest in a delivery van to supply the local hospital with fresh produce. As your prosperity increases, you could also afford a new roof for your house, bicycles for your children, and a continually growing savings. Microcredit equals macro results.
This week on Our World, we tackle politics head on.
Coming from a family of immigrants, like my mom was born in Colombia and my dad was born in Palestine, and you know, they love America. They love how they could come here from their countries and they're free and they could like participate in the political process. What's great about our government is that it allows people to, like, no matter who you are, you can make a difference.
At each and every juncture of our history, somebody's been audacious enough to say, we can do something different. And more often than not, it's been young people who've done it. When Jim Crow still was the law of the land in half of this nation, it was young people who got on buses and went down south. When a Vietnam War was being fought that people realized made no sense and was destroying our credibility in the world, there was young people who stood up and said, enough. Dr. King once said, 2 weeks after Bloody Sunday, after some of those young people had gone down and risked their lives, said, I understand that you're fearful. I understand that you may be near despair, but let me just tell you something. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. It bends towards justice. But here's the thing, George Mason, here's the thing, young people, it doesn't bend on its own. It bends because you put your hand on that arc and you bend it in the direction of justice.
I feel like politicians don't expect anything from us, but I think Barack knows that we're capable and he wants to represent us.
We have a war today in which we should have never waged it, and our leaders don't know how to end it, and I was against it, and you need to help stop it. Young people have to get involved.
It's a hands-on campaign, and it starts with us. It doesn't start in Washington. It doesn't start with one person. It starts with all of us. That whole standard of politics is kind of the dorky thing, and you don't really want to get into that. That's really fading out because these issues, like the war, especially the war, are so critical that you can't not be involved because it affects everyone.
I wasn't much older than most of you when I first got out there and organized on the south side. You know, these communities had been really hard hit. The steel plants.
His life story motivates me to keep up with my goals and try to achieve them, and that's that's the way that I want to lead my life.
We actually dealt with some environmental issues, some job training programs for people who are unemployed, and it gave you a lot of satisfaction.
We have a voice. We can actually make a difference.
Grassroots posters! Starting with the last election, kids were getting involved, and I think that this election in particular is going to be an election where kids need to step up.
You're watching Our World on TXA 21. Stay tuned. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Hi, I'm Sinisa Kim, and this is Our World. And now, part 2 of how we rock the vote.
Welcome to the darkness.
Welcome to my room.
I haven't always been interested in politics, to be honest. Just getting involved in this campaign, first of all, has shown me how if you want to do something, you can do it. And that's an American thing. People need to know that their voice will be heard. There's so much division and just bad feelings coming out of Washington, and that sounds simplistic, but it's not, because when Washington, D.C. becomes a dirty word and a dirty place, America suffers.
When I grow up, when I hear about my parents' era and like the 60s and 70s, I don't know a lot of it, but at least I feel like you young kids were, protesting and getting involved, that there really has been a lot of apathy amongst our amongst our age bracket.
Why now? Why us? And I think the answer is because the country is calling us. Because history beckons us.
That's exactly it. He seems to be the only guy on the planet who gets that it's about us. Voters want to be talked to as if they can contribute more than a vote in November.
We shouldn't make it unaffordable for young people to want to go into public service, who want to go into teaching, who want to go into nursing. And we should have a plan that says that if you are...
I'm so into my studies and all this, and what I'm thinking, well, what is this all good for if I can't do anything about it? And that's what Barack Obama represents to me. Just like Dr. King, it's amazing, and I feel like this is a step to the brighter future that I've been hoping for such a long time, and I've been reading about ordinary people who can do extraordinary things. It's not just him up there. We have to be behind him and be engaged citizens.
The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. And if you grab that arc, think about all the power that's represented here. If all of you decide that you are going to get involved, if you all grab that arc, then I have no doubt, I have absolutely no doubt that regardless of what happens in this presidential year, and regardless of what happens in this campaign, America will transform itself.
Barack Obama shows that you can still have faith in America. Yeah, we make mistakes and we stumble and we let things happen, but when mobilized, we can do great things. I don't know if I would like to say that, my generation is the next greatest generation, but wouldn't it be nice to think that we could be?
After the largest turnout of young voters in a generation, Barack Obama is sworn in as the 44th President of the United States.
We believe that a commitment to knowledge is a commitment to life and truth. This is what we stand for. Defining our world. Sedap maneh? In the coming weeks, we will cover such key topics as the environment, culture, health, technology, and sexuality. I'm Sinisa Kim, and this is Our World. Until next time, join me online at ourworldtv.tv. Own the news, change the world.
Our World featured music is from Keith Crouch's new hit EP, The Box, available on iTunes.